All right, folks. Another crazy day. What a crazy day this one's been. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm sure pretty much everybody has heard about events, but yeah, we'll hold back a minute. With a few people come in. Oh, people are leaving. All right, Lisa, how's tricks go? Been crazy, hasn't it, folks? Some lunatic. I'm not sure of the exact number of people that were killed, like, but news reports something like 49 or something like that. I think what's crazy is the guy was able to leave one mosque, drive across town, and shoot another mosque up. I mean, holy moly! So yeah, his sexy voice. Hi, Rennie. Hey, Piper. It's been a long day, folks. Yeah, some reports said 49. Like, I suppose the media is having a field day with it. Like, that's the worst thing about news like that. There is that freaking there's always some sort of, obviously we know what the motive is, but you always feel like, the factions and politics and stuff like that are always tend to manipulate events to shield for themselves, basically, which I think is disgusting. You know. Hi, Kick. What about you, girl? Long time no see. So yeah, it's been a crazy day. Woke up this morning. Actually, it was my mother rang me this morning to tell me. I don't watch the news, to be honest with you. Can't stand it. And I was like, oh wow. So, you know, later on, I did a wee bit of a search, and because you know how it is, whenever you hear like shooting, mass shooter, things like that nowadays, and considering the way things have been over the last few years, like 5 or 6 years, with the amount of mass shootings and you know question marks over quite a few of them, you're a wee bit skeptical. I was skeptical this morning, so I didn't even bother looking. You know, and later on, I had a wee look, and I noticed there wasn't too many YouTubers putting content up about this. There was a few, you know. Um, but there was very few talking about it. I'm surprised. So, I did go and watch a few news channels and things like that then just to see. And, you know, my mind was still a bit skeptical. To be honest about that. I was still skeptical. I was like, you know, and Then I discovered that the guy had live streamed the shooting, live, and it lasted 17 minutes, and I was like, "Holy crap! How was this guy able to do this for 17 minutes before he was shut down?" I mean, that just added a little bit more skepticism to it, like, but the mind is what the mind is, and the mind is a product of what they've been putting upon us over the last bloody years, So eventually, I managed to track the video down of the shooting, and 110%, that was no hoax. That was 100% real. It was 100% a real event. I absolutely no doubt about it there at all. Um, I have question marks over many other events that have happened in the past, and you still couldn't convince me that there were real events. But that what happened today, I have no doubt whatsoever that was 100% real. So if YouTube's not going to let anybody show that video, that's an absolute fact. Various channels have been shut down. Earlier on today, Week Now was doing a stream on his where he was going to show the video, and they didn't pay attention to Spoof Movement because Spoof Movement was telling them in the stream that he went to put it up, and his channel was taken down straight away. That's what Spoof Movement was telling them straight away from the out, and other people had backed that up. So they started streaming, and they started playing the video up after Freddie decided to hit me with a wrench because you know he didn't have a wrench, but he has to ask for a wrench so he can be in control. And the first thing he did was ban me. So that stream got taken down because there's a serious crackdown. And I'll be honest with you, it's I find that just as concerning because wow, how quick like authorities or the internet has been able to control the output of this video from being placed on social media and whatnot is crazy. There was one site I saw a link to that was working 1 second, and as soon as I hit the click a link, boom, it was gone, and that was on a website, not YouTube or anything like that. There, so um, that's crazy. And of course, 4chan and 8chan, YouTube, and other social media, platforms are getting a lot of bad press over this. I mean, they didn't go out and shoot anybody, but it is what it is. Everybody's going to take an opportunity to. So, yeah, quite disturbing. These people. Honestly, I mean, in the mosque for worship, and a guy comes in. He posted a manifest as well. I read some of it. Allegedly, it's from him. I don't know. Oh, it's basically just typical far right propaganda, basically. Oh, okay. Okay, so, but I kind of, I think, I think it was a bad idea trying to watch it on YouTube for everybody anyway, like because if people really want to go and watch that video, of the shooting, you will find it, like, but it's quite difficult to get the hold of, and you you know they're going all over the place to take it down. But the again, the motive behind the shooting seems to be, basically white genocide. Guy's not happy. He's getting pissed off. Immigration and all the rest. And the joke about it was, well, it's not a joke. I don't mean it in that sense. The irony, should I say, of it is that the guy's from Australia, and here he is in New Zealand. Doesn't even live there, and he's immigration. Wow. So a lot of people lost their lives today in a needless frigging terrorist attack, and I'm quite sure, Sovereign, if you've watched this video as well, I'm quite sure you're comfortable in verifying that it's 100% real. Um, you know, quite disturbing. At one point when he's doing the getaway, he's driving. It wasn't even a getaway because no one was chasing him. When he was going off in his car, he actually just run over the top of somebody had already shot. And he wasn't just shooting him. He went up and finished him off. Basically, made sure this. So I mean, I can understand why they don't want it on the media, because at the end of the day, that's 49 people's family, man. So disturbing. But I'm sure there will be people. I have come out and I have seen some people try to debunk it or hoax and all that crap, and they're like, fuck me, it's not always going to be that, like, but you would hope that they would have at least made an attempt to watch the complete video before they come out with videos claiming that it was fake, because there's no way. And the thing is, you're not going to be able to analyze that. That footage isn't going to get up on YouTube for people to do videos trying to analyze this, analyze that, the way they did about the Boston bombing, which leads to another question. The Boston bombing, the footage of that stuff was about everywhere for everyone to see. I mean, that wasn't difficult to find at all, and that's still, you can still find stuff in that, like, if you go looking for it. Um, Surprising enough, I did do a search for hoax shooter, and the first channel that came up with a video was Tito. Unsurprising, but you don't think it was real, Sovereign? It looks real, but the walls should have been Swiss trees. You don't think that was real? I mean, he was standing about, what, 10 feet away, high tech. He was standing about 10 feet away from someone in the first mosque, in the crowd. Um, you're not, you're, I'm telling you now, it was not stage. You're not going to get this. Isn't Hollywood, folks. It's not a movie. You've got the room. What size were the bullets? What type of bullet were they? You know, there was pools of blood. There was one person I got freaking hit in the head. I'm pretty sure. Well, Sovereign, you can see the bullet. You can see the bullets hitting the bodies. You can see that. You can see the momentum of the bullet. So I'm not going to argue about whether someone thinks it's real or not. Um, I know you believe it was a government mark trained to kill. He was so cool and calm. I believe he was shooting real bullets this time, and I believe he won't ever do real prison time. Well, interesting theory, but there's something iffy about it. I know that. Like it was that manifesto was a bit what you know. I was quite surprised that the cops, what they just caught him. You know, he handed himself over. They didn't take him. You know, because he was all armored up. It looked like he had special clothing for it as well, with really thick freaking leggings on him, knee pads, freaking body armor, the whole 9 yards. Like, he wasn't taking any. It would have took more than a police revolver to take him down. That's what it looked like to me, anyway. The type of way he was geared up. Yeah, I understand your view now, so I get what you're trying to say. Yes, but I'm convinced those people are no longer here. It's interesting. I remember the Paris shootings, that Bataclan thing. Um, I watched it. I watched the whole freaking newsreel for about 12 hours or so. Uh, when it was happening, because there was a football game being played at the same time, and there was explosions outside the stadium. Well, alleged explosions outside the stadium, and the news broke through, and started going on about the whole Bataclan thing. And I remember watching it, and we were watching footage of, I'll never forget it. One lady climbed out on the balcony, or sorry, a window ledge, and hung from the window ledge. And she didn't fall, drop down or anything, but she hung there forever. She hung there forever, like, and it was like, no way, I couldn't even do that for, you know, probably 2 minutes tops, 3 minutes, yeah, the most. There was a lot of crazy goings on with that shooting. But one of the big things I did notice about that, when it came to, you seen lots of vigils and things like that, but there was no funerals. So it'll be interesting to see if they show on the news, show the funerals and things like that there. That'll be interesting to see. But I don't know, a crazy time anyway. It seemed to be, I mean, I get where you're coming from, Sovereign, and I can see why you would think that cat too. I get it. Uh, and it feeds into the whole censorship thing that's been going on. But I was very surprised of, you know, Wake and Freddie and all wanting to show this video to everybody, considering our views on, you know, they got so upset with Mr. Gunk over the snuff video, and they wanted to show mass murder. So it was interesting. Um, I went there. Good to see you, girl. So I mean, where does that leave it? what's next now? I mean, what is going to happen next? Obviously, there's going to be a lot more censorship coming down on top of everybody. Um, it's crazy because I know the video, you couldn't, if you tried to upload footage with the sound off, they weren't letting you upload it. It was taken down straight away. If you tried it, just clips of it, wasn't happening either. So, I mean, the algorithms, I don't know what way they think those work, right? But man, it makes you wonder about the whole AI thing too. The fact that they were able to take this down from, you're not just talking about YouTube or Instagram and other media sites, you're talking about freaking people's websites, you know, they were taking this down from. And it's crazy how effective they've been at it because, I mean, the World Wide Web is not a small place, it's fucking huge. And there is millions upon millions of websites, millions and millions of freaking, and they're able just to click a finger, start taking everything down. So it kind of shows me just how, though they haven't got total control, it kind of shows me just how much control, you know, the people who are in charge actually have of the internet. So Daphne, when it comes to YouTube now in the future, you're going to see a big freaking there's going to be no tolerance of channels trying to expose things that they believe to be, you know, hoax or whatever way you want to put it. Like, yeah, that's it. So when it was scrubbed so fast, I mean, as links were coming out, boom, it was disappearing like that. So very, very eye opening in that sense because they always talk about China and their internet and how, it's censored. You're only able to access so much and basically what you're allowed to. You can't reach out beyond it, basically. And, as big as the internet is, as far reaching as it is, it seems to me that they've got a really strong grasp in being able to censor the rest of us, you know, if and when needed, pretty quick. So if there ever comes a time where there needs to be, for whatever reason, like an internet blackout or something like that, I have no doubts that it'll happen quickly. Now I have no doubts about that at all. Um, Now, so, we're getting into technology is changing and it's moving on leaps and bounds pretty fast. We've already seen augmented uh, reality take place, basically. We've already seen that they can insert things live that aren't there and you think they're there. So, the whole what the future is going to hold and all this here, it's quite concerning. It reminds me of that. Did you ever see the movie? Anybody ever watch the old movie? Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. It was the Running Man. It was called. Anybody ever see that? The Running Man. That's what it reminds me of. He's done doing his job. He refused to shoot on. I don't know, innocent people down below, whatever you want to call them. He refused to open fire, follow orders, and he ended up. It was done anyway, and video footage was able to show him doing it, even though we were shown in the movie he didn't do it. And with this augmented reality and all coming in, everything is getting better. Get that kid. Everything is getting, crazy in that respect. Man, they could have you doing anything. They could have you freaking looking on. You could be 100 miles away for that freak's sake. That's the point we're getting to. It's not too far away, like, and I think that's scary. I think that's um, I'm in my 40s now. If I get to see this, get to reach that 70, the three score and 10, wow, what's that going to be like? Because the evolution of technology in the last 30 years is breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. Not even 30 years, 20 years. It's breathtaking. Um, and it's crazy to think what will be around in 10 years from now. Excuse me. Um, 20 years from now. You kind of feel sorry for the great grandchildren in the future. Put you off having children, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's the I mean, the message is definitely being picked up in the media, and that is, oh, white extreme far right. You know, we've been too busy. This is what they reported over here on the Channel Four News. Sorry, they were talking about that we spent too much time concentrating on Islamic extremism, that we have let drop the ball when it comes to extreme far right. It's like, what? What on earth? What a way to look at things. None of it should really be labelled. It should all just outrightly be terrorism. Does it matter who executes it, or does it matter what their political mindset is? Really, at the end of the day, what matters is that it's being perpetrated onto innocent people. That's what matters. I mean, the only people that really care about the narrative behind it are governments. That's my opinion anyway. That's what I think. They're the people, because are we going to end up seeing a tit for tat? It used to happen over here in the Troubles, in the 80s, 90s, 70s, and whatnot, where see you later, Sovereign. Where maybe the IRA would kill somebody, and 3 days later or a week later, you know, a loyalist paramilitary group would kill somebody in retaliation for that shooting. And it was just a constant tit for tat. That's what they became known as, tit for tat shootings. So, are we all going to be waiting for a retaliation? I hope not. I hope it doesn't happen. So it's been a crazy day. I do take point of what Sovereign has said about it, and it is a very good point. But at the end of the day, people lost their lives, and that's quite unbecoming. I had planned to do a different type of stream tonight, but yeah, didn't really seem appropriate, you know. So I'll possibly look at that over the weekend here, continue on with that. But ultimately, yeah, don't know what you think. So yeah, I was going to talk about other stuff on YouTube, but you know what? I don't think I will. I'll leave that to another day. Um, do you know? Mad Pie Man, what you're saying there, the emotional response is a big part of the reason to keep you in a state of fear, right? I'm going to tell you something. Things went on that long over here during the Troubles that nobody was scared anymore. You know, we all just went about our own business, and whatever happened would happen. There'd be plenty of days you'd go into the town to do your shopping, and you know, there'd be a bomb scare at the Marks and Spencers, or there'd be a bomb scare at Littlewoods or something like that there, and you'd wait till it was cleared, and then you'd go ahead, you know, then you just go about and do your shopping, or you just go somewhere else and come back again a couple of hours later whenever it had been cleared up. And that's the way people got. Everybody just got on with their everyday life, like. So the fear really, um, apparently the guy had a couple of bombs too, like, um, but they weren't used. Yeah, Kick, I was an interesting, the referral to the USA all the time, like. But I mean, okay, so let's say, there is extreme far right and there is Islamic radical and whatnot, like, but why is that there? Why is it like that? You know, because this crap wasn't about to this extent back in the 80s. It just wasn't there. Um, and they feel like, I mean, since the whole thing, since the 90s, whenever the first time they went into Iraq, Kuwait, you know, and the whole thing going on with, Israel and Palestine and whatnot, and then Egypt, all that stuff. I feel our governments, the politicians that we vote into power, who are supposed to be, you know, working for our best interests and working to, build a better place and all that crap. You know, I feel if there's any, methodology or philosophy or any fucking nonsense that's behind what this guy done today, it's the freaking politicians that have been running the countries for the last 30 years and creating people like this. Because that's, you can turn around and say yada yada yada, but I mean these people are created because our governments have went against our wishes and did things in other countries that they shouldn't have done, that we didn't want them to do, but they did it anyway. The whole thing with mass migration, immigration, and whatnot. Syria is a mess. Nobody wants to go in there. Look at Mugabe, that guy over in one of them. Is it? I can't remember the name of the blank country. Is that many of them in freaking Africa? But that guy is genocide left, right, and centre, and the rest of the world, UN, not concerned. Not interested. But when it comes to freaking, the Middle East and stuff like that, there, if it's filled with oil, they're happy enough to go in and do it. And I feel that, these people who get caught up in the extremist viewpoints are the result of the actions of our governments. Simple as that. I feel they're just as much to blame as anybody else. Just reading the thing. All right. The skeptic's gonna go play the shooter's video on his channel now. Wow. Yeah. Bother come back in here, skeptic. Fucking asshole. My channel is not your platform to fucking drop your bullshit, skeptic. Be payment, there is sources out there if you want to watch it, like, but I don't know why I want to really. Like, it's fucking disturbing. So right, folks, I'm gonna wrap this up. To be honest with you, freaking yeah, I know you said you've seen it. It's a horrible event, mate. It's not something. It's definitely not a hoax. Why it was perpetrated, that's a different thing, but it's definitely not a hoax. And fucking skeptic coming in here, fucking advertising that he's going to show it on his channel. Man, that's just poor taste. Uh, I'm just going to wrap this up, folks. Um, you know. Anyway, folks, have a good. Best of luck to you all.